Hello and welcome to Played by NCG, our weekly look at the courses that we've been out and about playing. My name's Tom Irwin, publisher of National Club Golfer, and this week I'm joined by our Deputy Editor, Mark Townsend. Hi Mark.
Hello Tom.
It's your debut on this?
Yes, first time on the
hand.
Small hand, so to speak.
You've been up to Moortown?
I have. My last 2 games of golf were at Moortown. It was going to be 1 game of golf because it was a semi-final. And obviously I'm sort of now showing off the fact that I made the final. So I played 2 games of golf at Moortown.
So we'll get on to why you were at Moortown, but it's a course you're fond of, isn't it?
Yeah, I've always been sort of obsessed with Moortown since probably early 80s. It used to be sort of one of those courses you saw on Sunday Grandstand, which I think was a car care. And I've got a very vivid memory of, it's not that vivid because I don't know who it is, it's either Sandy Lyle or Nick Faldo in sort of burgundy waterproofs.
You've got a vivid memory of someone?
No, it's one of those 2. I'm pretty sure it's Lyle, the second to DJ Russell. So it's one of those courses you grow up with and always have a sort of fascination with.
So you've been to like watch the European Tour event there basically?
No, on telly. I used to go watch all the European Tour events around sort of London, which is where I grew up, so Wentworth, Sunningdale, Woburn, Alton Heath, all these things.
This was back in the day before the European Tour took place mainly in China?
Yes, back in the day when it was about 6 weeks of the year was within an hour of my house.
Right, okay. And then you studied up here, so you played it at university?
No, I didn't play it until 5 years ago, which is a long time after I graduated with honours. But not much honour.
Wasn't actually the university, I thought.
No, it wasn't. I actually got thrown out of Leeds, but
that's a different thing.
That's not for video.
So it's a course that's sort of been on your radar for decades?
Massively, yeah. I came to Moortown. Mum and Dad brought me up to look for accommodation. We did a sort of magical mystery tour of Yorkshire. So we went to Ellen Road, Moortown, went to the Wallpack for a pint. So we did all sort of great things.
Top 5 Yorkshire must-sees?
Yeah, we did it all in a day and found some very bad accommodation. And my dad and I came to Moortown. We sort of did the long driveway. Sort of one of these places you always sort of pricked your interest and stood on the first tee, and that's as far as we got.
So when you were looking for a venue for the final of this year's summer match play,
yes,
there's nowhere else you'd rather be?
I love it. I dream of joining there one day when time and funds allow.
So that's not a plug for membership?
No, but I'm sort of free agent at the moment. I love it. I played it 6 or 7 times, and every time I go, I think it's like the perfect club for me.
Okay. So do you want to talk us through your next slide?
Yep. This is a very detailed routing of my approach to work. So I go out of my way, which you might not be able to pick up on the map, so I can drive past Moortown every day. It's not that much out of my way.
Those are the three different routes that Google Maps gives you to work. Interesting. To Moortown.
Yes, I know it's pretty obvious that there's one. It's just 2 main roads. I like driving. It's good fun to drive past a golf course if you're into golf. So I managed to get 3 golf courses in on my way to work.
This being one of them. So this part of the show is to talk people through how easy or difficult it is to get to the various places we visited. This is sort of a case apart because we all live in Leeds. So Mark actually passes Moortown Golf Club on his way to work. But the driveway itself is pretty cool, isn't it? Yeah,
it's brilliant. It's like there's loads of. If you think of like somewhere like Ganton, which has this immense driveway in, and you sort of try to pick out little holes as you're driving in. You don't get that because it's very sort of built up, and it's on the outskirts of a city centre. But given it is on the outskirts of the city centre, you've still got this immense sort of tree-lined driveway. It does sort of, as soon as you see the sign, I get excited every time I see the sign every morning, and I'm just going to work. So.
And it's had a Ryder Cup?
It has had a Ryder Cup a long time ago. First one in Britain.
One of
which we won.
3 Yorkshire courses have had a Ryder Cup?
Yes, I think so. Ganton and
Lindrick.
Lindrick, yeah.
And it's had loads of changes recently, hasn't it?
Yes. I think I've played it once before the changes, so I've got not much knowledge or memory of that. And now they've cleared out loads of trees, which I wouldn't claim to be an expert on what that's going to do, but having played it at the beginning of November, the course was in brilliant condition. I suppose you always use the word immaculate, but it was stunning. It's like it was really dry, the greens are brilliant. And we chatted to the secretary, and he said a big part of that is the trees, and that does dry the course up.
Yeah, so they've had this like 10-year programme to basically revamp it and try and return it to like a sort of more heathlandy feel, haven't they?
Yeah, yeah. And it's great. I mean, I like courses based on aesthetics, and the fact you can see other golfers, it has that sort of real club feel to it. I can't remember, I don't know what it was like before the trees, but it just has that. You see people coming and going in different angles and going off this way and that. So just from the aesthetics point of view, it's amazing.
Yeah, it is like ridiculous what they've done really. They've taken out about 2,500 trees or so, we're told by the Secretary, Peter Rishworth. They put in 24 new bunkers, or restored 21 bunkers and 3 new ones. And it's not been 100% positively received, but like having played it for 15, 20 odd years, like the condition of the course is just night and day for what it was previously, and I think it just adds loads to the whole experience. The wind can affect your golf ball. Like there's a lot of these kind of older kind of heathland courses are getting overrun by trees and shrubbery, and Moortown have sort of taken the plunge, and I think others will follow, having seen the effect that it's had on the turf.
Well, yeah, I think they also went back to old photos.
Yeah.
Which every time you hear that, you just think, well, you know, brilliant. That's like just a big tick in the box, isn't it? If you're going back to what the original designer's been up to then. And then when you do go on top, I never really associate Moortown with sort of wind particularly, but then you sort of go up a level in tiers when the 11, 12 and on, you know, the next 3 or 4 holes. Then you do get buffeted around a bit, and then you sort of go down again, and it's all quite a sort of different change in sort of feel and elevation. Yeah,
the character of the course is quite inconsistent, which some would say was a weakness, but you're sort of a big fan of that.
Yeah, I think you've got everything. I think you sort of... I was associated as being a driver's golf course, which is one thing I can do, which is why I was very keen to play there against someone who's not quite as long or proficient. Yeah. His smash factor might not be quite up there. Yeah, no, I think it really sort of, you don't seem to go in the same direction until the end, the last sort of mini stretch of holes. And I think there is loads of variety. I think you're hitting drive a lot, but I think everything's different. I don't feel like you're always going left to right or right to left or everything's straight. I think it all moves around.
So what happens before you get onto the first tee then? It's kind of quite a pleasant experience, isn't it?
It's lovely. There's also a shell or some sort of garage just on the doorstep, so you could get a few little provisions if you were to really start the day early. Then you go down the driveway, everything's in the right order, so you're not sort of cocky around going over there to hit some balls or doing this or the other. So you park your car, come out the car, your pro shop's on the way. Straight opposite pro shops is the locker room. Then you've got the putting green, which I think is brilliant. I think doesn't get much sunlight, but it's always this little sort of special little
it's like a little Bingley Dell sort of thing, isn't it?
So you always feel like my preparations are done, then you walk up 5 steps and you're on the first tee. Yeah,
there's a sort of natural flow to arriving on the first tee, definitely.
And I really like courses that don't have first tees in front of a pro shop or clubhouse. You can sort of just go and quietly do your own thing.
Yeah, so you put this in as one of your favourite 3 things, haven't you? That the first tee is kind of just set out on its own.
Yeah, it's quite sort of theatrical, I think. You've got the big, enormous practice ground on the left, so if you've got time to do all of that, so much the better. But you've got the putting green literally just here, and then you're away. So if you don't snap hook it, you're away basically, and you can get the big furniture out.
You can do that because they've cleared out loads of trees that used to sort of block you out on your second shot, but now you do genuinely have a choice off that tee. And you're right, it's like a proper, it's an ex-Ryder Cup venue. It has open qualifying on a 5-year loop with Old Woodley and Panel. And there is a sort of sense that you are somewhere special on that tee, like the turf's right, isn't it? And the sort of course furniture is what you want. It's kind of unfussy and proper.
The tees are all the right size, they're not oversized, they're not small.
Yeah.
You know, you feel like you can sort of move around a bit on them, and Yeah, no, it's a. If that hole came 7 holes later, you'd sort of fancy your chance a bit.
Yeah, that is a bit of a niggle. Courses that start with a par 5, you sort of want to save them for when
you've only got one more.
Well, 12's a par 5.
Yeah, sorry, 2 more.
Yeah.
And I play it very badly. Last time I was there, I was in a ditch for about 5 minutes, trying to hit a chipper out of a ditch.
But you still overcame him in the end.
I did get there in the end, though. Yeah.
And as well as your personal history, the place is sort of steeped in it, isn't it?
Yes, very famous stories of a character called Nigel Denham. I just found out today he died a few years ago. He was playing in the Brabazon a long time ago, 40 years ago, 1974. And he hit shot, bounced up into the clubhouse. And the clubhouse is now out of bounds. But it wasn't out of bounds. I took an excellent picture that doesn't give you any sort of idea of what he did, but that's what the plaque is. He tipped it out of the clubhouse and had 2 putts, and I think did he win it? Or?
I think for the sake of the story, he must have done.
I think he won it. Well done, Nigel.
So basically, what the 18th green at Moortown is set very, very tight against the clubhouse. So when you're hitting your second shot into the final green, like, it is quite intimidating. You do sort of worry that you're going to be rattling around off the clubhouse windows. This particular chap actually went through the clubhouse window and then was able to hit a recovery shot from inside the clubhouse onto the green. So it's a pretty cool story.
There's a better story,
yeah.
or lesser known story even, where somebody managed to bounce his ball up onto the roof, like a flat roof, so he sort of shinned his way up there. I think it's 2 years after this. He was playing in the President's Putter, and again, obviously it still wasn't out of bounds, and he managed to chip on 2 putts. It'd be brilliant if someone had actually chipped on and putted, holed out, and he won the President's Putter.
Right.
And Sebi also flew the green onto the putting green that we've been talking about, and someone took his ball, even though it was out of bounds.
No, it's out of bounds, so it's all a bit boring now, really.
Yeah, lots has happened there.
It used to be good. So we've got your affection for the first tee, we've got the chap's plaque. What's your third thing?
Just the general nod to the Ryder Cup. Obviously the Ryder Cup took off in the 80s, 90s, and Moortown, I would imagine they've always been obviously very proud of being a Ryder Cup venue, but now the Ryder Cup is so big, it's really special to be part of that, and they have an enormous lounge. They've got like brilliant memorabilia everywhere, good photos, all really nicely done. As soon as you go in the door, there's massive photos and replicas of the Ryder Cup. I think they actually keep the proper one in a safe because they realise it's a bit too pricey to have. And yeah, so you've got one side of the room is all the American memorabilia, and the other side is the British GB, and it wasn't GB and I, their memorabilia, and they've got they've got the flag that the secretary bought off eBay a few years ago and got it for a decent price.
Right.
And it took 6 of them to hang it up in the clubhouse. And it's immense. It's like there's loads of sort of good stories. All these stories get lost over time. There's loads of still good stories from those matches, and the famous one is George Duncan played Walter Hagen. Apparently it was in the gents, and he heard Hagen.
So these 3 people?
Yes.
Do we know who they are?
Samuel Ryder, that's Walter Hagen. That's George Duncan, that's Samuel Ryder.
Right.
As far as I know.
What did George Duncan do?
He heard Walter Hagen showing off at the urinals. He was showing off about how he was going to beat George Duncan, and he lost 10 and 8, so he didn't win. It was over 36 holes, but still, it's an absolute pasting.
Oh, well, they did 36 holes singles.
He did foursomes one day and 36 holes. I think they did 36 hole foursomes actually, and then singles the day after. Just 2 days.
It's a lot of whispering, isn't it?
And 2 players, Percy Ellis. He was picked, Peter's dad, and didn't play at all. 2 of them didn't play, so it's all very different to the moans and groans we get over 3 days and 12 players now.
What, so selected for the team but didn't play at all?
Didn't play at all.
That's some snub, isn't it? Right.
I'd imagine all the Americans did play,
Yeah.
sat on a boat for 6 months.
We are focusing quite a lot on the sort of off-course stuff, but it
Yep.
is a big part of it at Moortown, isn't it? So what's this shot here?
So this is where the Nigel Denham played his shot from. I think this is the Mackenzie Bar. There's the Mackenzie Bar and the Ryder Lounge. So I think. And then if you look very closely, you've got this immense snooker room as well, which any sort of historic good golf club should have, and it's not tucked away upstairs where no one goes. It's right next to the bar. So,
yeah, it's properly just so like those windows look out over the 18th green. Like, so the glass on those windows is about 10 yards from the sort of apron of the green, so it's like properly tight. And it, as Mark says, it's just what you want from a clubhouse at this type of venue. It's just sort of very cosy and understated, isn't it? It's
as much as you don't want to be overlooked playing your first shot, I think it's part of golf that you should be overlooked playing your last few shots. And it's just nice, isn't it, once you've finished and you're all done, and it's quite nice to revel in someone else making a mess of trying to get out of a bunker or whatever it is.
I quite like that. So you think you should be able to sneak out on your own, but your sort of arrival back should have some ceremony to it. It's good.
Yeah, I think if you've managed to get it round for the whole time. And
put that in some like course
it's
design.
a very hard hole as well, so I think you're going to watch people make quite some decent numbers.
You can never get it far enough left, can you?
No, you don't. You go to the gorse on the right.
So can we afford it? Can we afford to go here or not?
Hopefully, yeah. Given it's the north of England, it's not ridiculous. I would say if you're lucky enough to go, there's loads of good course in the area, but if you've got time, go for a day, because it's immense. You'll have such a nice time. The lunch, clubhouse is all good. Juniors half price is obviously great, and I'd say 85 quid in the middle of summer. Well, I would say November to March, if I was a punter, I would be for 45 quid, I'd be going in March, as long as the weather's not too bad around that time, and I think that's incredible.
Well, you've just been and played, haven't you, in late October, in November, and came back waxing lyrical about the condition of it.
Yeah, everything, the turf is still absolutely mint, and the greens, everything is like, the greens are like obviously the bit that you really sort of look for at this time of year, and they're incredible compared to everywhere else.
So 45 quid's absolutely amazing value, isn't it?
For a day.
Yeah.
If you just get 27 or whatever you do. There seems to be like loads of, I also like, where you could picture yourself doing little loops. I always picture yourself, would I like to be a member here? Yes.
Yeah.
I could see 4 6-hole loops, or park your car on the other side and play that. So that's always a massive.
And there's lots of decent golf near it to pair it with.
Very much. So we have the other course I drive past is your own, or Woodley.
Thank you for that.
You'll be familiar with. And then where we are today, Moortown, so that's the sort of great North Leeds triumvirate.
And Sandmore.
And well, I don't drive past that, is what I meant.
And Headingley.
Headingley, I'm a member of. Brief sabbatical due to babies, but there's loads of golf. There's this incredibly sort of golf-rich area, and like a good quality golf.
Yeah, I think it's properly overlooked. Maybe it's just because we live here, but it's like a couple of hours on the train from London, slap bang on the side of the M1, brilliant night out, loads and loads of decent accommodation options, and like some properly good heath and golf.
Well, the reason they had the Ryder Cup, apparently it was going to go to Glen Eagles, and then they only found out 4 months before the actual matches, which I think were early in the year, like April. They wanted somewhere in the middle of the country because the Americans would arrive in Southampton, and then they'll obviously be playing exhibitions and whatnot. So they wanted somewhere in the middle of the country, and so 4 months before they found out they were going to have the Ryder Cup, and that's why it was here.
There you go. Used to be regarded as convenient.
Very convenient for lots of people.
Right, thanks for that. So we're now going to move on to our 30-second summary. So can you give us Moortown in 30 seconds, please?
Yeah, just doing a sort of repeat what I say. It's like, every time I've been there, I've enjoyed it as much as the first time, which is quite a big thing. You sort of think, I always go, would you like to be a member? And every time I go, that sort of goes up a little notch every time. I don't spend enough time in the clubhouse because you sort of tend to go and then you've got other things to do. I'd like to spend an awful lot of time in the clubhouse. I think it'd be a really good time to sort of socialise.
We do a good club sandwich.
Yeah, I've had a bacon sandwich over the years. But basically, just the condition of the course, it's immense. It's like, it's a real sort of, I sort of grew up playing a little bit of Royal Wimbledon, and I think it's like a sort of grand version of Royal Wimbledon.
Okay.
And Royal Wimbledon's pretty
So your sort of
amazing.
summary is that it's the sort of place you'd like to spend a lot of time, and that's sort of like praise indeed, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd like to spend an awful lot of time there.
Right, so now we've got our quick fire questions. So you love it, but if you had to change something about it, what would you change?
Think something about it.
Yeah.
I would like to see the 11th tee slightly elevated.
So you can see
Not
the
a big-
fairway.
Yeah, not a big.
Yeah.
What I really like about it is the fact you can see so many holes from everywhere,
Mm-hmm.
and I like to see what I'm doing with every shot as far as I can,
Mm-hmm.
not hacking out of rough
Yeah.
trees. I'd like to see that a bit higher.
Yeah. And Moortown's like a sort of prestigious inland course. You've played a few. Hope you played these. Is it better or worse than Woodall, Spa, Hodgkin?
Ooh. Very similar.
Okay, better or worse than Walton Heath?
I've only played the new, and I'd say worse.
Is it better or worse than Worplesdon?
Or better. Not
Okay.
much better, I say that a bit decisively, but I'd say
So
better.
which is interesting because it's probably not as kind of widely regarded as any of those places, but you'd sort of put it in the same kind of company as Worplesdon, Walton Heath and Woodall.
Yeah.
My three W's, I've just realised.
Very
Maybe
much.
I could get a logo like Tiger. And your top 3 golf courses in Yorkshire, please.
I think most people would say the same: Ganton, Moortown, or Woodley.
Is that in any
Not in
particular
that,
order?
not in that order, though.
Is that the order you're having them in?
No, I would go Moortown first, or Woodley second, Ganton third. Which I don't think many people would say that.
No.
That's the regard I hold Moortown in.
Most people go for the exact opposite
Yeah, I would
order,
say
in
that,
fact.
yeah.
Just
But-
typical of your good self.
Like to be a bit. Well, no, that's my genuine. That's what I think. Yeah.
Right, and finally, if we were to pop off now for some social time, would you rather play snooker or golf?
Now, golf.
Right, thanks for that, Mark. That was brilliant.
Thank you.
So that was Mark on Moortown. We've got lots and lots of these planned, so please do keep watching. You can watch this type of thing on our website, nationalclubgolfer.com, on our YouTube channel, which you can find by typing National Club Golfer into the search box. We're massively keen on feedback. If there's a golf course you think we should come and visit, so we can do one of these little features on that, then let us know. Send us a tweet, send us an email, but do keep watching. Thank you very much.